Ace of Chalices is your overall card. So new emotional beginnings, new relationship. This could represent a child coming into the picture, pregnancy, things like that. But whatever it is, you feel overjoyed at the situation, probably even so happy that there are tears flowing. Sometimes I've said in the past this could represent sadness, but with these combinations, I think this is the happy tears of things working out, and definitely a good card for new relationships if that's an interest of yours, or just experiencing situations that make you content. With Strength and the Star here, I get this vibe of hanging on to hope that things will become better for you, and feeling positive. That it may require your own inner endurance to just like say, I'm going to keep the positive energy, I'm going to keep it despite the fact that what else might be going on. And I think it definitely pays off this week. And you feel like your own inner fortitude has granted you this newfound hope that things will be going in your favor. I just really like the Star. I think the energy around the Star is normally not my favorite card as a major. It's because it's hope, but it's not necessarily real. But I think things are feeling more tangible to you, like you can't obtain it, and it's not out of reach as you've expected. And you feel comfortable, confident with situations, like things are growing in your favor. You have control. And I feel like you have power here. I feel like your energy is the Empress. So you're making things happen around you. You've put all your energy towards your passions, and you're seeing the results. As you're seeing the results of your own hard work with the Empress. And you especially have been putting a lot of effort with Strength here. Some of you may have had to have patience and this endurance in order to keep pushing forth through an idea. There's something you really wanted, and I feel like it's becoming a reality this week. And I see this vibe of good news, especially if you've been waiting to hear if you've received something, or if the award is yours, or if you're attempting pregnancy here with the Empress and the Ace of Chalices. This is a positive test. So, and in that case, I feel like there may have been difficulty beforehand, and you feel lucky that finally you've received the news that you've wanted. And your emotions are high this week. This is the Queen of Chalices, and I believe this represents you. You're feeling very intuitive. You might feel very creative, but there's a lot of a bursting of emotions here, bursting at the seams, but I do feel like it's joy. Strength. You've definitely been working diligently and passionately towards something. This is not necessarily a passionate card, but this guy is focused, and he perfects his craft. So I feel like you've been spending the time working on something that you've really wanted, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It required your strength to spend the long hours, research, or try again, especially for those of you who wanted a child and the test kept being negative. It was like, keep trying, working at it, not losing hope, not losing that strength. I'm just getting that overall and positive news regarding that. So, Star. New journey with the Fool here. You're like a kid again, feeling ecstatic, and like there's something brand new that's essentially in your life, and this is like a new chapter to your life. This is a thing that you haven't had before, which is why I'm getting the child thing very strongly for whomever this may be resonating with. And in that case, this will be a first child, and it feels brand new to you. In some ways you might be scared, and in other ways you're very giddy and just excited about this journey. But this can apply to any situation, not necessarily just first child. You are afraid, though, I think, with the Seven of Swords. You're afraid that something bad's going to happen and it's going to be taken away. Like someone's going to come at night, and all of a sudden the positive news that you receive, someone's going to be like, oh, this was a mistake. Oh, I made a mistake. But I think this is just an internal fear with the Seven of Swords. And I think in the past that may have happened, and you have a strong friend. Well, I would say several friends, strong community of support that you can turn to. And it could be that you're expressing your fears to them and they're like surrounding you with support. Because on some level you're afraid of, again, losing something because you have in the past and you don't want to relive that because you work so hard for it. That's the vibe I'm getting. It definitely has to do with an experience from the past. You've lived through a situation before very much like this. Maybe it felt positive and it got taken away from you. You don't want that to happen again. So I think you're just leaning on your friends for support in the event that it does. But I mean, it does look like good news this week. So hang on to that hope. And then one more card. Well, we had a dropper here, 10 of Pentacles, commitment, stability, and success coming in here, feeling comfortable and secure. So I think despite the lingering fears that by the end of the week or seeping into next week, you start feeling more of that security around yourself and confident that things are going to remain positive and are not going to have the same results that they did last time. All right, so I usually look at the overall card to dictate the rest, and we do have a card of celebration, and it could be that your focus is on social activity, being around friends, having parties, drinking, and just all around a good time, which is good to see. And I do think that outweighs this energy here. In the middle, you do have the 9 of Swords. So the week will have some anxiety for you, you stressing. You might have a whole lot on your mind where you're replaying situations over. You can see this face is like screaming at you. I think this is all your thoughts, and they're all basically screaming at you, and just you've got a lot of thoughts rotating around in your mind, and you might have trouble sleeping. It could be because of this. Maybe there's a particular event that you're attending that you're actually anxious about. Might not be a bad thing though. I mean, the cards around it are not negative. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. This can serve as an invitation. Someone, actually asking you, do you want to come with me to this event? And you do want to go. You're excited, but just at the same time, it stresses you out. You're hoping it goes well. That's the vibe I get with this combination. In the Fool, maybe on some level, you're afraid of appearing foolish, of making a mistake. At the same time, I think you're excited. You see some sort of like new path that this opens up for you, and that could be especially if this is relationship or love focused, where a new person enters your life and invites you to connect with them and their friends, and you're excited about it, but you're stressed about making a good impression. At the same time, you know that once you get through it, this can open up that new door between you and this person. It can also apply to other situations just the same. For instance, work. You have another very similar event coming up. There's that invitation. This is also the new job, or working on a new project with a whole new group of people, and those people would have a strong influence on how you'd move forward in that company, something like that. And it involves like 3. It is definitely a team, and you're anxious about your performance, but you know that if you do well, this is going to open up new doors. So regardless of the situation, the story works out pretty much the same in my mind. Okay. Why are you so anxious? Why are you so stressed and unable to sleep? 9 of Wands. And you got the 9 of, the 9 of Wands, the 9 of Swords on top of it. So extra stress happening. You've got a lot of mental activity, a lot of things on your mind, and you might have a whole lot of trouble sleeping this week just because you're fixated on a particular issue. And it's like when something is going to happen, like say you got this event on Friday and you just can't sleep, you can't get anything else done until Friday is over with. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just the nerves are so strong that you need to get something out of the way before you can move on and feel comfortable again. That is the vibe I get here with the 9 of Swords. It might feel in a way like the world is resting on your shoulders, and it could in some way feel like a burden. Now, I don't normally see the world that way, but around the 9 of Swords, 2 9 of Swords, I see this as carrying the world in your mind, and you've got like so many thoughts again from all angles, all different topics, all different feelings are just coming at you, that it's overwhelming. And I also see that as looking to close that chapter. And part of this anxiety is the fact that once you get through this, then that's over. You don't have to deal with it again, which brings up the world for me. It's like that will close out. You just got to get through it. The Fool. Seven of Pentacles. So you're excited. You're thinking about this new beginning here. And you might have worked very hard to get to this place, or it might have taken a lot of time. You might have found that you've needed to be very patient, and now it's here. And again, that's part of the thing that scares you. You want to make sure that you get through it in the best possible way. And I do feel this as reflective in a way. You're thinking about your choices and the choice that the Fool might lead to. Like, he might have several options, all of which are risky in their own way, all of which are brand new beginnings in their own way, and you're wondering which is the best decision for you. Which one are you willing to put the time and effort into? The Seven of Pentacles being time and the effort. Knight of Pentacles has something to bring, either communication, an actual invitation. Now, Nine of Pentacles might be unexpected, so the fact that this person is offering you something is like a shock. We have the Tower. That could be big news, and it leaves you feeling pensive. You got to think about it. It could tie into education, but for the most part, I think it's something quite big that you have to think about first. And this is the nerves that it starts to work up, because it's such big news again and unexpected that you, on some level, feel like you're not ready, but you want to get through it. You're anxious about getting through it. And again, there's that vibe of not being able to sleep until it's over and done with. And we have the Eight of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups has reappeared. So again, this may involve networking with other people on the job or at work, which is the same thing. This might involve, again, proving your worth and working hard with other people, a team, and making sure it's successful. It's coming up here. You could be thinking heavily about what it would be like to work with these group of people, how it's going to turn out for you. Three of Cups. In terms of a turnout, though, I feel it'll turn out very well. Let's see the clarifier. We have the Ace of Pentacles. From this story here, we've got a new job. We've got someone giving you some form of prize, something of monetary value. This is more money coming in, or some kind of offer where, again, this situation that you've received here, which is most likely some form of invitation, or you're working with a group, it turns out in your favor, and I think you pull it off. You might gain new friends, new connections in general. And these could be very important connections that are tied to money with the Ace of Pentacles. We do have the Four of Chalices, but it did come out reversed, so I want to acknowledge that. I'm actually seeing this as finding that opportunity that now finally interests you and you want to take. I think previously you were bored with situations. No job or no offer has really intrigued you very much, and now you found that thing that you want to join. You might have to think about it for a little bit. You have two fours and you have the quiet Four of Swords, so you might have to be pensive about it and consider whether or not you actually want to do it, or take a break before actually moving forward with the Chariot. You just get one from this to add to the overall, and that'll be it. Oh, you're gonna hate me for that. All right, so we got the Three of Swords. Now that's interesting because I don't really get the sense of any sort of heartbreak overall from the other cards. This one flew at my face. We got the Three of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. There could be something that in this new opportunity, you might have to leave a situation behind, and it's difficult. Maybe you've made a lot of friends, or there's connections you don't want to separate from, and it's not going to be easy. And there is a sense of a loss occurring this week, as an aside. Forgive me for even pulling other cards, I'm sorry. You might find yourself hanging on or withholding your feelings. There is some sort of disappointment that's creeping up on the side alongside this situation. I'm gonna leave that there. All right, so overall, I do think that the week works out pretty well. You do have celebratory energy as the main overall outcome. You've got that new opportunity. Most, as I said, it could be a new job or someone, again, offering you something of value. Even, no, I would say offering, or even being able to buy something of value for yourself as well. I see you no longer being bored in your situation, possibly taking a break before moving full speed ahead on another project. You do have some stressful energy. And as I said on the aside here, there is some sort of sorrow over a loss that may have occurred. And this could be outside of this story. This is just an addition.